we like vetoed any sort of culture for just being racist sacks of shit who steal people's land.
27 questions.
27 weeks.
27 pedestrians.
What part of my culture am I most proud of is such a hard question, because I am an incredibly proud First Nations woman. I'm a Wiradjuri and Kamilaroi. I grew up on country. I'm so proud of my culture. I get to be a part of the world's oldest surviving continuing culture. Like, that is just mind-blowing to me. It's incredible. Such a rich, incredible, diverse culture. And that's what I'm really, really proud of.
If I did have to pick something, I do really appreciate a pair of stubby shorts, a mullet, and dancing to Jimmy Barnes while cooking a barbecue.
How proud we are as Filipinos when we see another Filipino succeed. I think that's something great that we just carry on throughout the world, just supporting other Filipinos. Even if they're like 1/1,000,000th a Filipino, we'll be like, yeah, they're great, they're Filipino. Have they ever eaten a Filipino dish? Maybe not, who knows?
Oh my God, white Australians and the C word. I can't necessarily trace back my family line on either sides to anything in particular. Like, I'm going to assume it was convicts and hope it was for something like stealing bread and not axe murdering someone.
Just the importance of family and respecting your elders, and mostly the importance of the family unit, which I think is kind of nice. I've been reflecting a lot on that this year because I've been so far away from my family.
And the thing that I'm most proud of with my queer community and our culture is we fight for equality, but we do it with love. You know, we go to protests and we fight for each other, but there's always rainbows and glitter and singing, and it's always because we like to create a safe space. So that's what I'm proud of.
I'm proud of our strength and our joy and our ability to keep the culture and spirit alive. Like, no matter what's happened, we've kept it alive. And I'm like so proud of that I can like be here, you know, in some cases like 400 years later or 200 years later and still be able to connect with my culture in such a deep and meaningful way. I just think that the strength of my people is astounding and like something that will be forever grateful for.
And I'm really proud of my culture, my Italian culture, because not only do we have amazing food, great music, fashion, everything, but I'm proud that it taught me to put family first always with every decision I make. I can be individual sometimes, but I always think of my family before I make a decision and the loved ones around me. It instilled that in me from young. Sundays, we're all together, got to be together, have lunch, talk about your weeks, what's going on in your life. I'm very close to my brother and sister, I always will be, close to my parents, and that's something that is not only Italian, but I think when you have an ethnic family that migrated here, they instilled in us to stay really close.
An Australian Korean, I am proud of how resilient kids of immigrants are.
I'm very ashamed because I'm Australian. Australians, as everyone knows, have no culture. I might start with what I'm most proud of, and I think sort of the laconic attitude of the average Australian and how easy it is to get along with people. The thing that I'm probably most ashamed of is how we systemically oppress other cultures. I mean, you've got a prime minister saying slavery didn't happen here. Are you kidding me? Just because it wasn't called slavery doesn't mean it didn't happen. The fact that we can have such atrocities that were committed by our country and then have them attempted to be swept under the rug, I think that's probably the worst thing, the thing I'm most ashamed of about Australia.
I think the fact that we have less shame in our Australian culture creates a sense of humour that's like self-deprecating. We don't take ourselves too seriously and we can laugh at ourselves.
You know, I think for a long, long time, just because of #racism, it's kind of been really hard to connect with that because in order to fit in, I felt like I had to suppress that aspect of myself. Such an amazing journey connecting to my Filipino heritage. Again, I picked up learning the language for the first time ever this year because of COVID. I'm reconnecting through food. I'm connecting with my family in different ways I never had because of it. And it's been such a journey and one that I really want to keep for next year as well.
When you see another Jew like in an airport and you can recognize that you're both of the same faith and you're both there, there's just a sense of calm that can kind of bring, which I know might sound strange, but historically the Jewish people have been consistently persecuted and always othered. So for us to feel a sense of connection and see somebody that we know will have our back just by nature of coming from the same environment, even if we've never met each other before, there's like this sense of comfort that comes with that.
Do white people even have culture of their own? Like, that's the one thing I'm wondering.
Aussie, Kenyan, Sri Lankan, and queer. Now, I'm probably going to lead with the latter, and I'm so proud of just the way that the queer community embraces other people in and out of the community, supports other issues, whether it is to do with our community or other issues. We uplift each other. We are all striving for change and just to make the world better, more accepting, more comfortable place.
I still think there's a way to go with a lot of things, but I think Australians are pretty open-minded about everything.
We love our sport. We'll back anyone that represents Australia. The example I thought of was Nick Kyrgios. People love to hate Nick Kyrgios, but as soon as the Australian Open tennis comes around, and if he's the last guy left, we're gonna get behind him.
I feel like regardless of whether I'm thinking of culture as like the theatre community I'm part of, which is like arts culture, or like my family stories, I think storytelling is what I'm most proud of, because storytelling is the way that people pass down survival and advice and, their own life to future generations.
Out here, and our kind of rural culture is our generosity and banding together when things turn to shit.
Like in that nomadic culture, I guess the thing I like about that is that it made me adaptable. So yeah, I guess for all the nomads out there, I feel we're adaptable.
Queer people's abilities to be resistant.
I think mateship. Australians are really good at rallying around each other and getting around one another, such as the bushfires. But don't get me wrong, that there is a lot about Australian culture that I think is shameful and needs to be changed.
My mum's side of the family is Swedish, and I know nothing about Sweden. And my dad was adopted, so I don't really know where he's from. I guess meat pies and sausage rolls are probably the thing I'm proud about most.
I was born right near the Amazon Delta, and there's so many. It's where acai berry originally comes from. There's all these like amazing flavors that you just cannot find anywhere else.
I like how easygoing Aussies are. I think compared to the rest of the world, I think we're pretty laid back, and I think we are like the sense of mateship in Australia is pretty good. Day to day, it doesn't seem to come out, but as soon as we go into crisis mode, I think it does come out a little bit.
Especially in my time travelling overseas and meeting lots of other people, is just how well known Australians are as being friendly go-getters who just want to have a good time, who just want to make friends, who take life as it comes. It's our chilled out, friendly nature which resonates with the entire world. We're known as the people that will be your friends, that will take the time to have a beer with you, that want to go and enjoy and explore, that can have a cheeky and shitty sense of humour and sort of take everything on board.